It sounds like a crazy clickbait and too good to be true, but there is something so fundamental most of the health and wellness, let's call it industry, is missing, which has the potential to completely transform how good you feel and how healthy you are. And I guess it's because of what I said just now. The health and wellness industry is why this isn't talked about enough. You can't make money off these things, which means it's not good for business to talk about them. So here are 5 easy and free tips to help you be a way healthier human being without pretty much having to do anything. Number 1. Stop using perfumes, or anything fragranced for that matter. When Miriam and I lived in Portugal, we had house rules for guests. We lived in a nice place by the ocean, and since we had a spare bedroom, and Portugal is a great destination, people often passed through and they were looking for a place to stay, which is great. We loved having guests over, as long as they adhered to this simple rule: no perfumes. Simple as that. Now you might think this is a bit nutty, but perfumes, the ones that you spray on yourself, but also perfume or fragrance listed as an ingredient in a product, contains environmental toxins called phthalates, which are the chemicals that are used to make plastic softer and more flexible, but they're also used to make perfumes stick to your skin. And since phthalates have been shown to mimic and displace hormones and interrupt their production, and that exposure to them has been linked to several types of cancer, behavioral disorders, and decreased IQ in children, as well as asthma, birth defects, obesity, reduced fertility, early onset of puberty, and early breast development, I think our house rule was well justified. Number 2, don't accept store receipts. I flat out refuse to touch store receipts. The coating on register receipts contains a ton of BPA, or bisphenol A, which is a hormone disrupting chemical. And according to the EWG, receipts expose you to 1,000 times more BPA than plastic food and drink containers, for example. Then this study found that some commonly used hand sanitizers, as well as other skincare products, contain mixtures of dermal penetration enhancing chemicals that can increase up to 100-fold the dermal absorption of lipophilic compounds such as BPA. So I leave the math up to you on how many plastic bottles you would have to drink from to be exposed to the amount of BPA you absorb just by sanitizing your hands and then touching a store receipt. And it doesn't matter if it's BPA, BPS, or the entire BP alphabet. They're all pretty much the same. But when I really do need a receipt, what I do is I ask for digital receipts or accept them really awkwardly and kind of like make a show out of it. Number 3, stop using Teflon. Teflon chemicals have been found in the blood and breast milk of humans and wildlife all over the planet. It's also found in all groundwater and now even in rainwater. The EPA recently came out and said that there is no safe levels of exposure, so it's killing you as well as the planet. The other names for these chemicals are forever chemicals or polyfluorinated alkaline substances. They're a large family of over 9,000 highly persistent chemicals that don't occur naturally and hardly ever degrade in the natural environment. And exposure to them has been linked to cancer, birth defects, liver disease, thyroid disease, plummeting sperm counts, kidney disease, decreased immunity, and a range of other serious health problems. But they're not limited to just Teflon bands either. PFAs are also used in some paints, fast food packaging, and even cosmetics, so beware. In our kitchen, we only use cast iron and stainless steel, and very rarely do we get any takeaway or even eat out. Number 4, try not to buy new stuff or more stuff. John Bauer, the founder of the Healthy Home Institute, was spot on when he said that walking into a modern building can sometimes be compared to placing your head inside a plastic bag that is filled with toxic fumes. So new isn't necessarily better. All products on the market today are manufactured using potentially or known to be toxic chemicals at some stage in their manufacturing process, such as flame retardants and formaldehyde as 2 quick examples. And when these chemicals make their way into your home, they off-gas, linger, and accumulate. And these fumes are considered likely human carcinogens. Hand-me-down is better, natural is better, and organic is better. And the same goes for your new clothes. We always wash ours before we wear them. Number 5, open up your windows. Modern homes are well insulated, airtight, and energy efficient. But this is also their downside, since air pollution just gets stuck and accumulates indoors. According to the EPA, your indoor air is likely up to 5 times worse than the air outside. So opening your windows and airing your home is not so much to let the fresh air in, but to ventilate out all the trapped pollution. Just do this twice a day, early in the morning and late in the evening, when the overall outdoor air pollution is lower. And what you can also do is invest in an air purifier, which I think every modern home should have. But I wanted to keep this list free, so consider this as a side note. Now before you go, here's a challenge for you, or just something to think about. Next time you need to buy laundry detergents, for example, try to find one brand in the store that doesn't have fragrance, perfume, or scent listed as an ingredient. The problem here is that these ingredients are umbrella terms that are considered trade secrets, and under these umbrella terms, manufacturers can list about 4,000 different chemicals which they do not legally have to disclose to anyone, not even to the FDA. And when you do see fragrance in the ingredients list, for example, you can be sure that phthalates are also present. And these ingredients, they're everywhere in all sorts of products that you're using multiple times per day for long periods of time. And if you learned something from this video, please subscribe and check out this video next.